Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome back. In preparation for my Advanced 7.1 guide to the Paladin, I have clipped some of my best moments from the last few days that showcase the Paladin's tankiness and self-sustain. Weak in some damage regards, the Paladin right now is amazing for creating space. With your sustain you can create openings, bait out cooldowns, and store for long periods of time. Join back later this week for the full guide. And before we jump into today's video, a quick message from Lori.
Hello Frontliners, I'm Lori. I'm from the Frontline Discord server Fluvu, and we would like to invite you to our Frontline Christmas event on 22nd of December at 7 PM server time. You will find us at Volvus here on Phoenix, which is on the Light Data Center. Put on your most beautiful holiday glamour, fight a few spicy Frontline matches with us, and sing All I Want for Christmas is Fluvu. See you there.
For this first act, I am pushing in with the sole intention of baiting out burst and crowd control. If my Guardian could reach the ninja in time, I would then change to getting him out alive instead. The way I like to bait is to throw myself into the middle of a team. You go too far back, you won't escape, and too far forward, I will unintentionally get my allies struck. I also like to combine my Holy Sheltron with my guard to trigger the detonation on those around me. If you are going to bait, make sure you start moving back. Always expect follow-up crowd control from better players who will wait for your guard to be over. While falling back, the Maelstrom approached with their flank. I fall back first, acting as bait. Groups can never resist the urge to dogpile singled out targets, again using my guard once I fall back to bait out actions and crowd control. I wait things out, timing my counter-attack. Once Alliance members run past, I push back with my Sacred Calm healing and Shield Smite. I am not committed to this fight, I am merely creating space before I drop back to loop round. My limit break is ready, however there is no time to heal up. The adders might yet still push in, and we need to force the Maelstrom back. With so many range rolls that like to hang back, your limit break is perfect for getting in close to scatter the roaches. Again, I do not overcommit, as playing solo in this match, there were not many willing to fight. I know many right now are saying the Paladin is extremely weak. While I can agree that some of the damage numbers are low, and that the Paladin could benefit greatly from a generic damage buff, I disagree with the Paladin being weak. A job is not weak by the face value of damage done. Even saying that, I have already done 2 million damage solo matches on the Paladin, so its damage is there. What makes the Paladin strong for me is that they feel more like a true tank, and your ability to self-sustain I think might rival the Warriors. In match after match, I could repeat the same technique. Holy Sheltron into Imperator. Imperator sets up 10 seconds of healing when you deal damage to those under the effect, meaning it's beneficial to strike into a crowd. This also readies Confiteor for another instant heal follow-up. I would then dash in to trigger the detonation of Holy Sheltron for mass heavy. You then get one of 2 bonus effects, which allow you to tank for even longer. If the barrier is not absorbed, you gain Sword Oath for 10% more damage. More damage means more healing. If the barrier is absorbed, you gain a 20% damage reduction, which also means longer tanking. I then follow up with Shield Smite. It is a decent cone area attack, and all struck receive 10% more damage, which again feeds into your self-sustain. The Weakening Guard's effect is a nice addition, but you only go from that play to pick off single targets. When going into groups, you're aiming for that damage and debuff. This rotation was working so well that I could tank entire alliances, have the time to guard up and survive, and start the rotation over without leaving battle. Throw your limit break in there, and you are able to keep frontlining for over a minute straight, and walk away. This is why the Paladin is not weak. You create insane amounts of space. So much burst and crowd control is wasted against you, and the Paladin right now is like the monk last season, who are the legends keeping Dark Knights at bay, oftentimes being the reason games were won, meaning you do a lot that influences a match, which does not show in the end score damage values alone. The Paladin this season is a great opener. You set so much up for your alliance to follow up on. Apart from some needed damage buffs, the only issue the Paladin is struggling from is the lack of coordination. There are less Dark Knights around setting up pools which 90% of the players have become reliant on, and it is showing. Without them, many players have no idea how to make plays. Many in the community have also been attacking players who take up the commanding role. so way more games right now, everyone is just all over the place. Hardly anyone groups up, with players becoming strangely afraid of every fight. Throughout this entire recording session, fight after fight, I could be creating openings, taking space and setting up plays, anywhere from 30 seconds to over a minute straight, only to receive zero follow-up, even from the third team. In a situation where players push alongside me with your sustain, you kind of just walk through entire teams. For players who have a need to follow others, I can suggest following paladins, not blindly as they are not invincible. One mistake and they will still explode. I think over the coming months, as players get their confidence back, playing as a team once again, breaking away from the recent passive playstyle, paladins will naturally start to feel better. More team play, more battle high, which means more damage and more healing. Another general weakness right now is the insane amount of knockback spam, which hurts all tanks and melee. For Frontline alone, I feel they need to start hitting how powerful some knockback skills are. Since fighting range and crowd control is one thing, constantly being pushed back can shut you down entirely. If you are looking to play as a group of 1 to 4, the Paladin is a great pick. You can back up your Dark Knight, get your Samurai out safe after limit breaking, dive in with your Astro, and go wild with Black Mages, you name it. One thing I have learned is to play kind of selfish. You play around the Paladin's pace and your own self-sustain. Everyone else must then play around your openings. Do not be in a rush to burn through your abilities. Pace them out, mix them with Guard, in order to reset your rotation. Also regarding your Guardian skill, as of right now, do not be surprised if you never use it, or simply abandon a player after guarding. I have been getting many players who the moment they get the Guard, full hold their W key running in. Others who never retreat and reset, and during onslaught I braved running into the enemy team to save a machinist, who was smart enough to elixir back to full, and begin to fall back, until all IQ left that man's soul, with him full sending it solo into the adders, leaving me standing there in disbelief. So when playing solo, be ready to use Guardian, and always be ready to abandon randoms without a second thought. I can imagine the Paladin right now in Crystalline Conflict is a fairly decent pick, from the survivability alone. If you are looking to learn the Paladin with the best experience, playing as a duo or a small group will be your best bet. Keep watching if you want to see more plays demonstrating the Paladin's tankiness, and join me back later this week for my complete 7.1 advanced guide. Let me know down below your experience with the Paladin, enjoy your day, and I will see you all in the next one.